second time, because as I told you early on, I would be using some names to describe some individuals. And I told you then that I don't mean personal offense by it. I'm merely trying to make a point. Now, I won't even bother to ask Mr. Barbour how he's felt for 20 months sitting in the Barron County Jail. So I apologize, Miss Wallace, for calling you a Grinch. So what we learned from the interaction between Tyler Lee and Kelsey Wallace is that Tyler went running to Cindy Leon's house and said, "You don't understand, my child is dead." And the reason why he knew this is because Kelsey Wallace, the lifer, told him. You can reasonably infer that she told him the child was dead because that's why he went running to Cindy Leon's house, visibly shaken, upset. Now, that shows her knowledge that the child was dead. She knew that. She knew the secret. Because nobody knew that except those people who were present. Kelsey knew it because she was present. Kelsey knew it because she had killed the child. Kelsey knew it because she had asked Anthony to help bury this child. Kelsey also knew it because when she was asked to give 30 hairs, she refused. That's the reason why she refused. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you are tired, and I am going to quickly move through the rest of this. You know that Anthony Barbour, after 6 months of relationship, was willing to go to prison for Kelsey Wallace. After only 6 months of a relationship. Well, after only 1 month of relationship, Kelsey Wallace moved in with him. Does it make any difference how long he knew her? As to whether or not he would take the fall for her? No. He told you he'd go to prison for her. And he was totally willing to do it. Now, you're going to hear evidence as well, or you've heard the evidence with regard to Cindy Wallace coming to the home, and there being like a 3-hour window or 3 or 4 hour window of him looking for the child. It's reasonable to believe two things. One, the house was cleaned up. Two, that the car seat was put back in the car located only two miles away. Now, what's also reasonable is this, that once Anthony and Kelsey got back from the well, the car seat was merely put back in the car. So they're going to try to say that because the car seat was there, it proves he did it. The car seat being there doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove that he killed her, doesn't prove that she killed her, doesn't prove that Heather killed her, doesn't prove that Cindy killed her. It doesn't prove anything. It's just a car seat. So don't get swept away with the emotion of, aha, car seat's in the car, he must be lying. Where's the scientific evidence that he committed this crime? What's this? There's a picture of the door to the bedroom that has the door varnish on it, the floor varnish. If you'll look at that picture, you'll see that the picture shows how high that is up on that door. Now, I don't know for a fact, but I do know this. I believe the child could have also, in addition to any hits that it received while arrowhead hunting, any hits or damage it could have received after Kinley was hit in the eye, the child could also have hit that door. And blood had been left on that door. Because if you look at the medical examiner's report, you will see that the child stood about 33 inches tall or something like that. You have to look. I don't remember exactly. But if you look and use your common sense, you might believe that the stains on the door were covering blood because the child hit there. I don't know if her nose got busted or anything or what. But that's a reasonable inference from the evidence. We can't tell you exactly how this child died. We don't know. We're not required to. We don't. regard to these pictures. We know for a fact that the child is wearing a blue Mickey Mouse shirt in the picture right here. And we know in this picture there appears to be a blue Mickey Mouse shirt. Anthony, please. You hold this. We know that the child was definitely wearing this shirt. We know that this is the shirt that was found. Notice the musical note and this little bluish teal Donald Duck hat. Well, there it is. There's the Donald Duck hat. There's the musical note. You can also see by the size of this fabric that it's not very large. That's what you can see. Now, we know for a fact that this shirt was tested by the state police, crime lab. And we know for a fact that they say they found hair on it that matched the characteristics of Laney Wallace. Now, the report from the report from R.C. Atkins says there is no blood on this shirt. If you will look on the right side of this shirt, and there may be other pictures and evidence, you'll have to look at them. But if you look at this shirt, on this side, you can see some specks. Now, this is where it's blown up a whole lot. But you will have to get these smaller pictures to look at this. Because by blowing it up, it pixelates it. It makes it blurry. I beg you, look at the smaller pictures. And I believe I put one into evidence, a small one of this. And if you look on the side of that shirt, you can see some spotting, some red spotting. You look for yourself. Don't take my word. So even though the lab tech said that there was no blood, I beg you to look at the series of pictures, and you will see that indeed there is red staining on that shirt. Now, though she says there was no blood on it, I beg you, implore you, look at that shirt. And that will show you three things. One, that there was hair on it. Hair belonged to Laney Wallace. Two, there was blood on it.
Objection, Your Honor.
I can restate. I think the jury knows what I'm trying to say. Yes. I submit to you, there's no proof that this is blood. None. But I submit to you to look at it and determine for yourself. There's other pictures in evidence. Now here's the thing. We know that Kelsey Wallace, when she had the shirt, she laid it down by her foot. If you look at the door jamb, there's spotting on it. If she laid that shirt at her foot, and this shirt had blood on it, that's how that blood got there. Because when that door is closed, you see spotting on the door jamb and the speaker. Now, I can't tell you how the stain got on the A-pillar. I believe this is blood. You can look for yourself. Now, how did the stain get on the door handle to the driver's side? He told you that when she got out of the passenger side, she went around to the driver's side, opened the door, and got the keys. If she had blood on her hands, then it would have, if she had touched the A-pillar, and then she went around to the door and opened that door, she would have left traces of it. Now, we don't know for sure whether or not that was blood, because sunlight, heat, and other things can destroy the ability of the test to show that it's blood. And here's my other point. We know for a fact that Detective Morgan took a single set of pictures. Although he testified he took 2 sets of pictures later when he got to the post. Here's what I want you to do. Look at the first picture and study the print on this and the pattern of the fabric. There are other pictures in evidence that you can study. And here's what I want you to determine. Is this here and this the same as this? Is this a t-shirt? Because we know that he only took a single set of pictures. You can see that. We know that he took a single set of pictures, and those pictures were not delivered to the defense of the Commonwealth until the summer of 2016. So, if he never took pictures at the scene, or if the pictures he says he took on 10/12/2015, if those weren't really taken on that date, what is this? I want you to look at the weight, the weave, how much material is here. Now it's possible the Commonwealth will say these are close-ups, but you use your own set of eyes and determine for yourself. Sometimes situations have a way of working themselves out. Sometimes things happen that we can't explain that help somebody out. Sometimes I believe a hand helps man out to demonstrate the truth. Not a physical hand. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that that shirt that was found by the creek, that creek had flooded. There was one opportunity then, in every other flood or rain that happened, for it to have been swept away. We know for a fact that there were animal hairs on this shirt. Any animal could have packed that shirt away. We know that that shirt stayed there. We know that there was a tree that had been cut and brush had fallen over on it. Nature, and maybe something greater, had a way of making sure that poor Anthony Barbour would have a chance to show his innocence. There are other things that happened in this case that you could say was an outside influence. That shirt was lost. He lost with that shirt his opportunity for justice and to present his side of the story. Now, I can't prove to you that that was intentional, but I can tell you that it leaves a big impact on his ability to prove his innocence. I can't tell you that the two hairs, the hair that the state police said was chemically treated, which was 12 inches and 7/8. I can tell you that hair was 12 inches and 7/8 that the state police had. And then going to the FBI, I can tell you that their hair was 32.4 centimeters. If this hair is different in length of this hair in centimeters, and that means only one logical conclusion: it's not the same hair. Because hair that's been in evidence for 20 months doesn't grow, doesn't get shorter.